This is probably the 7th or 8th version of this video. I'm highlighting that fact because it dovetails very nicely into today's presentation. As Lions, we do a lot of amazing service, but how much do we choose not to do? How often do we abrogate, defer, say something is a bad idea because we can't do it, or we don't know how to, or we think it might turn out badly? When Lion Brett asked me to be a guest speaker and talk about social media, I hesitated. I called a few close friends, people I consider to be mentors to me in Lionism. I worried to them that it wouldn't be appropriate. I'm too new. I've only been a Lion for a couple of years. I worried that I wouldn't be the right speaker for the job. But I have a skill set, and the Lions that I spoke to chided me for not immediately being ready to serve the wider community of Lions and share. Hello, my name is Reverend Lion David Greene. I'm from the Katy Lions Club just outside of Houston, Texas. I am the first Vice President, Secretary, and the Communications Marketing Chairperson for my club. I also proudly serve as my district's Information Technology Chairperson and Webmaster. Let's talk about serving through social media. As a child, every summer, my mom and we would hop into the car and we would drive 1,000 miles from Connecticut down to visit my grandparents in Edmonton, Kentucky. I still remember the first time that we got off the Cumberland, and not 5 minutes later, there was a big, new, lit-up sign welcoming us in. It was nighttime. We had been driving for 15 hours. We were tired. We were keeping each other awake. Somehow, this sign, this time, this night, it just crushed us. In that moment, we thought, well, this is the end. Edmonton is changing forever. Other changes, like the Junior Foods, which was an established institution since the 60s, the grocery store in town, a Dollar General showing up to muscle out local mom and pops. Everything just felt like it was changing, and not for the better. But that feeling, it wasn't necessarily reality. And that's the thing about new, about change. Edmonton is growing in the same way Lions need to grow. And that's where social media can really help us as an organization. We do a tremendous amount of good for our community, for our friends, for our neighbors. Why aren't we more populous? Why aren't more people becoming Lions? Personally, I think we as an organization have a messaging problem. But I also believe that we as an organization have messaging solutions. Visuals matter. The Louisville East Lions Club does a great job of recognizing each and every one of their members' birthdays. These posts have the same visual aesthetic, which means they are easier to replicate for each member, and therefore they take less time and effort to make. And that's a good thing. Being good at something, being able to replicate it more readily, make it easier to produce, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That's got to be a good thing. Every time you're posting anything, anywhere, you want visuals. Visuals draw people in faster than a wall of text will. On social media, posts with photos or graphics attached receive consistently 37% more engagement in a long-running study by BuzzSumo. Just think about what 37% means. The Kentucky state minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. A 37% increase to that would be nearly $10 an hour. In the NCAA, Syracuse beat Louisville by 92-69. If Syracuse was 37% worse, or if Louisville made it 37% more, then the Cardinals would have won instead of a fruit basket. And that's another point. We need more activity, more engagement. You do a lot of work. Why isn't that highlighted? And it can't be a 1 or 2 person job either. At the club level, you need 2 or 3 people with the ability to share content, or you need someone willing to spend 15 to 20 minutes each day, maybe on their lunch break, updating social media, reaching out, commentating on behalf of their club. And of course, I said commentating because I'm hoping that might grab your attention. Mistakes, of course, they grab attention too. But think about it. What's coming next? When's the next meeting? When's the bake sale, the book drive, the vision screening, the tractor pull? Each club posting once or twice a week. That would give the district a tremendous amount of material to work with. And at the district level, why not have 4 or 5 people able to post? The district secretary has a huge job. So maybe enlist some past district governors to help out, a Leo advisor or two, some other willing lions. Posting with regularity breeds returning, engaging users, and that in turn results in more opportunities to serve and more people doing the serving. But wait, there's more. There's more than just Facebook. Twitter is another great avenue. I remember a few years ago, a relatively well-known businessman took to Twitter. He mastered it, and he went on to change the country. I would wager that lions are at least as well known as the 45th President of the United States of America. Hashtags, by the way. Hashtags are super important. Hashtags tell social media algorithms how to group posts for, quote, smart, unquote, showing. Try relevant hashtags and see what works for you. Hashtags give added value to a social media because it creates more opportunities for that post to be visible. Let's recap. We've talked about visuals, we've talked about engagement, we've talked about making sure posting happens, and we've talked about hashtags. There's just one thing missing: you. Social media is great, but you know why it's so great? Sharing and engagement. You share what you like. You upvote. You like. You react. You comment. That's why social media is such a powerful and underused tool in our belts. When you see a post for your Lions Club, do you just keep scrolling? Do you share it to your wall? Do you share it to your friends? Do you repost it? Locally, I am a member of about 10, 15 different Facebook groups that all have something to do with Katy, Texas. Groups like Katy Social, Katy Forum, City of Katy News, the Katy, etc., etc., etc. How many of you are members of a booster group on Facebook, a beg, buy, barter, next door? Heck, I'm in the Metcalfe County Band's Facebook group since my cousin used to play the saxophone and he invited me in. How often do you post into these various groups that you're a part of about what your club is doing? How often do you see a need that your club might be able to fill while you're in these groups? Lions are the secret ingredient. We serve for a reason. We're just that awesome. And together, we serve and support our communities. Thank you.